There are two little shits in Battletech. The Locust and the Flea. But would you believe me if I told you there's another? That's probably more than just another, to be completely honest. The Clanners, in their pursuit of ultimate supremacy over humanity, they saw these two and said what they always say. We can do you one better. That's not how the Locust 2C was created. It was a practical upgrade by a now dead clan. Let's just get into it, shall we? The clans are the descendants of the Exodus fleet, and the Exodus fleet was basically the entirety of the SLDF. And the SLDF carried with them a lot of mechs. These machines were perfectly functional. Be a waste if they just got rid of it. So Clan Mongoose decided to inject this old chassis with new technologies to keep it modernized and useful for the battlefields of the future. What potentially started as a simple upgrade plan turned into a completely new model. The plans Clan Mongoose had for the Locust needed it to be able to handle just a bit more weight. And so they had to create an entirely new chassis to handle all the new systems they had planned for. The original Mongoose spec was built on parts of unknown make, so we'll be using the specs of the Wolf Empire Locusts from this point on. The Locust 2Cs, built by the Wolf Empire, used the Bergen X Endosteel chassis. Because of the heavier chassis, a bigger engine was needed to keep the same speed as its predecessor. A Magna manufactured 200 fusion engine powers the mech to give it the same 129 km per hour top speed. For weapons, it carries a single Series 14A medium pulse and 8 Series 1 small lasers, 4 on each arm. Targeting these weapons is the OP-911 computer, and communications is facilitated with the Garrett T-10B. Cooling and protecting all these systems are 10 double heatsinks and 4 tons of compound alpha ferrofibrous armor. The Locust 2C carries over many traits from its predecessor, including its narrow profile, no arms, and even its weak legs. It didn't fix that for some reason. The mech having a bigger chassis did solve a fundamental problem of the cockpit being cramped. The cockpit of Locust 2 is of normal size, but also due to that, the mech is no longer compact for efficient storing. Makes up for that with it being very easy to work on. Yet again, this is another non-Omni clan mech, so it uses variants rather than configurations. By 2837, Clan Jade Falcon got their hands on the manufacturing plans for the Locust 2C and created their very own Locust 2C2. This one is a rather simple weapon swap of the original, with the ER Small swapped for 4 Streak SRM2s and the medium pulse changed to an ER. It is coincidentally almost the same as the Lyran LCT3S Locust. Moving on to the next variant, the 3 variant. Clan Smoke Jaguar rearmed the mech into a fast sniper with a Series 7 NER large laser taking up most of its free space and 2 small pulses for self-defense. This mech is one of the more common clan mechs within the Free Worlds League and the Capellan Confederation after the clans settled in the Ionosphere. Up next is the 4, which came after the 5 apparently, according to Mega Mech at least. When Clan Jade Falcon relocated to the Ionosphere permanently, they needed to modify their mech models to be able to be produced using less advanced Ionosphere factories. Even with the lesser technology available, Jade Falcon engineers managed to keep this variant to perform on par with the existing design. The 4 is built on an Olivetti Stage 2 Endosteel chassis and armed with a Series 7 JAER medium and 6 General Systems small heavy lasers linked to an Omicron 20 targeting computer. Communications are facilitated with the Angst 2400, 12 double heatsinks keep it cool, and protecting all this is 4 tons of compound alpha ferrofibrous armor. Since this variant was essentially a complete new build, Clan Jade Falcon took the opportunity to modify the appearance of the mech to make it more aerodynamic and make it more wingy, because Jade Falcon, they like birds. The 5 variant was the Wolfmate variant produced in the Ionosphere. This is a simple refit of the 4. guess they wanted to build plans and they'll try possession, or maybe they just stole it. Oh wait, no, they're friends. I guess it was like a trade or a gift. I don't know. The 5 comes with 2 ATM-3s and an ER medium. They didn't need 12 heat sinks, so they went back to 10. The 6th variant is an infantry hunter variant of the 5. The small lasers were swapped out for 2 heavy machine gun arrays, and an extra 0.5 tons of armor was added to help it live a bit longer in a close-range fight. Same as the 5, this doesn't generate enough heat, need extra heat sinks. Clan's Hell's Horses permanently relocated into the Innisphere in the 3070s. They had to fight for the places now called home. This fight left them severely under strength by the end of it all, and worse still, the places they captured didn't really have big industries for them to rebuild with. At most, they could manufacture medium mechs, even then, only second-line models. So, in light of this, Clan Hell's Horses decided to upgrade these second-line models as much as they could, with their limited resources. The Locust 2C7 is one of these models. The 7 variant is an anti-infantry model based on the 4 model, but it carries 6 AP Gauss rifles, an ER medium, and also carries a targeting computer. Clan Ghost Bear finally broke the trend of the variants being simple weapon swaps. The 8 model swaps the 200 engine out for a bigger 300 XL engine that gives it 194 km per hour. But this big engine did take up a bit too much space, as they were only able to fit a single ER large for weapons. Jade Falcon then came in swinging with the 9 model, which costs 18 million. Imagine paying 18 million for a Locust. This is the fastest boy out of them all, with a maximum speed of 227 km per hour thanks to its XXL 350 engine. Its gyro is also an XL model, and it is armed with 2 improved heavy-medium lasers and a laser AMS system. 1 extra heatsink was needed to cool everything, and the mech is protected with 4.5 tons of heavy ferrofibrous armor. I mean, yeah, it's kind of fast and kind of hits hard, but still, 18 million for Locust? Just go buy a Charger or something. The latest Locust 2C is the 10. Big surprise. Fortunately, the Wolf Empire did not lose its shit and made a Locust that costs as much as an assault mech. The 10 is pretty much a back to basics model, as it is almost identical to the original. Everything is the same except for the 5 tons of reflective armor and the medium laser now being an ER instead of a pulse. The Locust 2 is yet another one of these old, made new types of mechs. Just like the Glass Spider last time, the Locust 2C is an evolution of the old design. Clan Mongoose created the mech and used it to a good extent. It fitted into their tactics quite well, allowing them to win multiple trials against Clan Star Adder and Widowmaker. Doesn't really say what their tactics were, but since this is a fast mech, the Mongoose 2 men most likely preferred some form of hit and run or blitzkrieg tactic. Eventually though, Mongoose was absorbed into Clan Smoke Jaguar, which also got destroyed at the end of the invasion. Smoke Jaguar's assets were then divvied up, with Clan Jade Falcon obtaining ownership of the main production line of the Locust 2C at Cersei. The Locust 2C functioned very much like its Innisphere counterpart, mainly used for reconnaissance and also as garrison units, especially by Clan Wolf and Ghost Bear. It is a common sight in clan space, but apparently it's quite rare for Innisphere units to actually encounter them. If they do face them, they get a bit of a surprise because they don't die in like 2 shots. Speaking of the Innisphere, once the clans migrated into the Innisphere and set up the proper production lines, these locusts began to appear in house armies, especially within the Capellan Federation and the Free Worlds League. Now, for something so common, there's only like 3 notable pilots for this thing, and even then I don't think they really did much. I'm gonna include them anyway for drawing practice. So here's the first one, Star Commander Bryn. He was part of the last few Hell's Horses Sipcos to graduate from the homeworlds. He found living in a sphere a bit weird, so by the time he got there, things were already starting to wind down. Since then, he's been making noise about wanting to launch trials of possessions against Jade Falcon, Ghost Bear, and Wolf. The leaders of Hell's Horses are actually listening to him. Seeker Calabos of Goliath's Scorpion magically appeared one day and joined the Scorpions as toolman. Some were suspicious of his background, thinking he was from a dark caste, a bandit. But regardless of his mysterious past, he proved to be a very good leader. One day, when the Hanseatic Lee attacked Lubeck and killed the Lore Master and the Trinary Commander, he took command and led the remaining clanners to the dropship and escaped. He was last seen flying around the Chain Lane Isles looking for a brine cache. And finally, Star Commander Ray Black. He was a Steel Viper, now Wolf Clanner, who is known for being a tactical genius. So much of a genius he was that he became Allied Wards' personal advisor. The Republic of Sphere has been sending Ghost Knight assassins to hunt this guy down, and as of his writing, he still lives. The little shit lives on. If it never died. It's the Clanner's version of a little shit. Now you think the Flea and Locust is bad? Well, here's a version of it that can kind of tank slightly more and can actually kind of hit hard with the what do you call it, heavy lasers and all that. So fun times when you face these things. But I don't, honestly, I feel like it's pretty much gonna be like the same thing when you face Locust. Like it's gonna run around you, and maybe you can take him out in like 2 shots, 2-3 shots or whatever. It will not survive long, probably. It's a scout mech, and it's a light scout mech. It's a mech made for scouting, not for fighting. Right? If it were to fight, that means things really gone bad, because when you need to rely on light scout mechs to fight like off an invading force or whatever, that means you're losing. So you should just dip and get out before you die. For a lost cause. Don't do that. If the cause is lost, just leave. There's no point. Dead pilots have no point of existing. So don't be one of them. But that's it for this briefing, my fellow Jovians. Thanks for joining. Rather short one. Is it a short one? I don't know. We're like 2 videos away from this bug sub-series to end. The last one's gonna be a pretty big one, I think, because I'm gonna be including a lot. These bug mechs are the ones where I either missed or the ones that don't have variants. So that's gonna be a doozy, I think. It'll be a long one. Well, see that when it comes out. Well, remember to join the fleet. Click the sub button. We need more pilots. The Jupiter fleet will always need more pilots. Never enough. Never settle for enough. But if you're not willing to join the fleet, which is understandable, because, kind of spooky, then just click the like button and leave a comment, right? That will help boost the algorithm or whatever to attract more people that potentially will instead join the fleet and take your place. You coward. Join the fleet right now. If you don't, you might just end in my personal graveyard, the Discord channel. It's there. We talk there. Kind of. I post memes mostly. You can look at it and hopefully laugh through your nose. Like, the last laugh. I don't know, man. Join if you want. We can talk off screen if you want. That's an option. There's another way of speaking with me if you want to speak to me for some reason. That's another way for you to speak to me. Yes, well, I stream. I stream my gaming. I mean, my trading. My training sessions is when you can come and talk to me on certain things, on whatever things you want. I'm pretty open to a lot of questions. So if you got a random question that has nothing to do with mechs or whatever, and if I have an opinion about it, I will tell you. Potentially. Maybe. I don't know. Potentially. What? Depends on the question and the subject that we're talking about. Maybe some subjects, while I won't disallow you to ask, I might not answer. I'm just saying. But that is that for this briefing, my fellow Jovians and pilots. Thanks for joining, everybody. Glory to the Jupiter colony. Keep up the good fight. Screw those goddamn Earth people. Alright? Fuck them. I hate them. Take care. Keep on fighting them, alright? But once you fight, don't die. Take care. I should have said don't die last, but I didn't. God damn it.